Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0. A disappointing draw. Really disappointing. For us, the Blues, very disappointing. Also, a disappointing start to the season. Very disappointing start to the season, going by the way we have been playing recently. Our hammering of PSG, and generally how we played our two preseason matches. Big players failed to turn up. Boring touches in the defense. We had, man, very young defense, inexperienced. And then the passes and the touches were just coming back to them. Injured players really missed. We really missed them. That is 2 points lost as we begin our season. Yeah, we have lost 2 points. It was our first match of the season, yes. As Chelsea fans, we were looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Having seen Liverpool play and win, Man City play and win, and it was our turn to also play and win. We just had to win. After all, it was just the other day that we had beaten PSG, an imperious PSG that had hammered Madrid 4-0, hammered Bayern Munich 4-0, hammered Atletico Madrid 4-0, Inter Milan 5-0, and then we beat them 3-0. We were okay. We waited for the season to start, nursing title aspirations. Of course, just as it should be always for Chelsea, for this club to win titles. Then carrying on those recent achievements, wow, securing our top 4 finish, last day of the season, Premier League finish that had been eluding us the last 2 seasons, winning the Conference League, then crowning it with that PSG humiliation. We were feeling confident of the start of another era of success. So approaching this year's season, later on facing Crystal Palace, we were really confident, very confident. We were even oblivious of the fact that Maresca's Chelsea did not have a very good record against Palace. And also, we have not had a proper full preseason. So these facts could not even come to the fore as we were watching this match. But yesterday, during that match, they were loud. As expected, Maresca preferred your Pedro up front ahead of Dilap from a fan's perspective. And going by our recent form, that was okay. But of course, as the game will show, and seeing the pressure that Dilap put on the Palace defense during his time on the pitch towards the end of that match, perhaps he would have been the right man to start. Answer is, of course, 50-50. We thought, of course, and still believe Joe Pedro is the perfect striker to help us break low blocks as the one we saw with Crystal Palace. He never did it yesterday, and it was mostly lost in the game, a missed opportunity. Let's hope that he can rise again and give us a much-needed win at West Ham in our next match. From the onset, we failed to assert ourselves in the game, as we would expect. For me, much of that will be due to Enzo Fernandez. It is difficult to point exactly what happened to him, but his leg itself that turned up yesterday could not help. He surprisingly just roamed the pitch, no meaningful involvement, and then when he was on the ball, he meekly lost it or gave a poor pass, perhaps one of his poorest games yet in a Chelsea shirt. He will need to do better, as failure to do so will be in a difficult season for Maresca. Even benching him is difficult. I know and believe our Enzo will rise. A bad day in the office is excusable. He must never be that comfortable. He must step up, particularly when we are in possession. His work rate of the ball must improve. Poor first match for the season, but let's go. Of course, again, Chelsea may soon have a Cole Palmer problem. This team is built for Palmer. He wants the ball, he gets it. So when Palmer, for whatever reason, fails to take initiative from minute one, the tempo and push by the rest of the team shows. Yesterday was such a day. Palmer was only on fire towards the end of the match. Too late for us. Imagine it was our first game of the season at the bridge, and there too, Palmer and Enzo were off. Two of our top creators lacked the drive to assert their authority on the match right from the start. Not a good sign. Let's hope Palmer understands that we expect a lot from him for the team to compete for the Premier League title. They must show up every fixture. Not scoring from open play in the Premier League since January is too bad for a player of his caliber, hoping for the best this season. It's a precious jewel, so just expect the best. For Caicedo, seems pressure got to him yesterday. The hype has been real. He was talking positively. But yesterday I did not do a lot wrong. Just the back passing that was draining. With a defense of not so experienced players, the fear of what could have happened should Crystal Palace attackers isolate any of them, following those back passes from Caicedo was just too much. Plus, it just looked like Caicedo was uncharacteristically arriving late for tackles, sometimes just appearing lethargic for a day. One Premier League match. Besides, there were hardly any moments when he tried to put balls beyond Crystal Palace defense. Well, perhaps it's just reading too much from game one. So while Mo, he wasn't in control of the proceeding, let's hope he rises as high as we know he can. It's just game one, so we are cool. For Captain Reece, the performance was not what they banned. He looked uneasy. Got a yellow card early in the game, and just appeared like something terrible was going to happen to him during that game. You couldn't look at Reece and feel that it was going to really help. It wasn't looking like it was going to do anything meaningful in that game. In fact, being subbed off was to his benefit. And for us, the fans, that cooled the pressure on us. Reece needs to lead the team. He really needs to lead the team, not be as subdued as he was in his first match yesterday. That was not good. Then if Reece has to be that subdued, like he did yesterday, then we can't expect the other players to step up, because he should be the one instructing them, pushing them to play harder. He needs to really improve. Reece, you really need to improve. Kudos to Cucurella. Good job. The entire defense, good job. The defense really played well. I can't say they put their foot wrong. Though of course I was really fearing when they were having those back passes. But they did well. However, one thing I have to say, the front line was starved the ball during some of those phases of play when there was slow balling, 20 or so touches back to the defenders. And the game was just appearing like Crystal Palace would just intercept one of those balls and score. Andre Santos, great. Just needed to be calm and score that chance. Sanchez in goal, man. Sanchez was good. I can't say he did anything that is worth talking about as wrong or so. Sanchez was good. Well, Estevao William injected much needed urgency and energy, of course. Wonderful. This one is a wonder kid. We need to give him more time, more opportunities to play. He would be a threat going forward. Unfortunately, after that missed chance, they couldn't pass the ball to him. Man, they should just give the ball to Estevao. still young, will miss some of those chances. It looks like the one who is going to take on two men, turn the game around no matter what. So they should just give him those balls. They should just give him the ball to play. Going by, of course, the performance of Gittens in both yesterday and that AC Milan game, there is no football reason for me why Estevao should not be starting ahead of Gittens. I don't see any reason. I don't see it. Pedro Neto did not create much despite his wing being preferred for most of our attacks. I didn't see much from him. I won't say Pedro Neto played a bad game. Not a terrible outing for him, though. Because if you consider that Caicedo, Palmer, and Enzo did not give a lot of help to him, Pedro tried. But not really to the standards that we expect Chelsea to show in a game like that. By Pedro's recent performance, he should be starting. However, we could do better with him in for Gittens, the other wing, and then have a star in the place of Neto. And then our wings will be threatening. Our wings will be good. Our attack will be more lethal than it was yesterday. So overall, Chelsea did well considering the Crystal Palace that we are talking about. One that did it on City. They beat City, and City, they also beat Liverpool in their recent cup duel. So had we approached the game with a greater sense of urgency, more hunger, especially from the first minute, more drive, especially our key players, for me, I believe we would have got more. I think the 3 points. Also, we squandered good chances that would have turned the game around. Tosin and Colwill were badly missed. Really missed. Just as Slavia would have served well in the place of Caicedo, because in the place of Enzo, because Enzo seemed to be tired. This game one, so let's hope that the other games will be okay, especially on